Since August, a lot of people have been wondering, why hasn't Melyssa Ford been on the Joe Budden podcast? People are wondering if she got fired, is she gonna sue? Like, nobody knows what's going on. And of course, like I said, she made some weird Instagram posts and she's been on her own podcast, although that podcast don't get no views. But hey, shout out to Melyssa Ford. She's trying to do her thing. But in May, there was a particular subscriber to the Joe Budden podcast that actually made a very interesting recommendation.
Hey, what up? Hey, Joe Budden. You might not hear this, but we need people to share so he can hear this. Get Mona on the show. Go over there wherever she at. Get her out that deal. Bring her to the pod. Yo, I'm like 52 minutes in. Dopest pod that I done seen in about 6 months. One of the dopest shows y'all done put out in about 6 months. And I still got 2 hours left. Do what you gotta do. And that's her seat right there.
Now, shout out to this brother because he's saying something that is pretty interesting. He's saying when Mona, who is a podcaster out of Philadelphia, Mona, aka Don't Call Me White Girl, he's like, listen, since she been on the pod, I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm loving what I'm hearing. Listen, man, you got to get her on this. Like, this is your opportunity, Joe. We need her in the seat. And so when he's saying he needs her in the seat, I believe what he's trying to say is we need her in Melyssa Ford's seat, right? And that was basically kind of what a lot of folks were believing. Like, look, we just need to get her the hell out of here. She's not a good fit. And then obviously, Joe Budden made the announcement.
Guys, looks like we finally have a new addition to the Joe Budden podcast. Now, after months of speculation, teasing us, flat out just edging us, Joe Budden has finally announced that Mona, aka Don't Call Me White Girl, is going to be the new co-host on the Joe Budden podcast. Mona used to be a co-host on Gillian Weller's podcast, but eventually they parted ways. This was back in 2020, and then 2021, she eventually relaunched her podcast, Don't Call Me White Girl. And ever since then, it's been up. People love Mona. She's entertaining. She's got a very strong opinion about a lot of topics. And obviously, with her being an A-Mic on her own podcast, a lot of people love the dynamic between Mona and Joe Budden.
So shout out to my man, Shig Smooth. He basically was one of the people that broke this news. Mona is actually officially on the podcast. Now, what's crazy is a lot of people were excited that this happened.
I know I'm not the only one that's excited that Mona is on the Joe Budden podcast. And actually, I'm so excited, I may start listening to full episodes. Because usually I just ingest them through clips from TikTok, but I actually may need to watch the full episode because I know she's going to ruffle some feathers. And I would like to know the lore of it, the beginning of it. I want to start from the so I actually will be supporting. I think she fits in perfectly. We all knew that Mel was going to be on her way out. I think she's been show hopping. I don't think she was ever a really good fit. I just don't think she could have she could hang with them like that.
And it's not just women.
I love Mona. I Mona, so I like this. I felt like there could have been a space where she could have been on there before, even with Melyssa Ford still being on there, but it never happened. I'm a fan of Mona. I think she's funny as shit.
And so I was sitting back. I'm not going to say I was feeling sorry for Melyssa Ford because it just didn't work out. Think about Joe Budden and think about how it is being a man. This is not a diss towards women because, yeah, women can also have their stuff together and replace men too, right? It's very possible. But Melyssa Ford, for almost all of her life, has gotten by exclusively on the fact that she's Melyssa Ford and she's exceptionally beautiful, all right? And now Melyssa Ford is in her mid-40s, late 40s. And now that doesn't matter anymore, okay? What matters is, do you have chemistry with somebody on the podcast? Or in general, are you valuable at this stage in your life? Are you agile? Can you do the things that really matter when it has nothing to do with what you look like? And now when you look at Mona, she's a person that's adding to the conversation. She's a person that's giving opinions. She's a person that's adding on to something. Now, I'm not trying to say that she's not a good looking lady, because she is. But what I'm saying is she's on there for what she brings. And I guess Melyssa Ford was too. But at this point in Melyssa Ford's life, she finds herself in a situation that she's becoming more and more less valuable. Look at Melyssa Ford's own podcast. It doesn't do well. Like, you've been exposed to Joe Budden's audience and your podcast still isn't doing well, the one that you have. Like, how is it that you're just down bad? Like, you're not growing in the industry, but you should be growing in the industry because you're on possibly the most popular podcast in the Black community on planet Earth. And now you find yourself without Joe Budden, with nobody really watching you, and then you get replaced by somebody better. This is something that men need to pay attention to. Why? Because we have the ability to always improve ourselves and to be understanding of that, right? Like Joe Budden understood, like, whoa, we got to improve this. I got to pay for this. It don't really matter, all right? Whatever I got to do to improve that particular seat, I'm willing to do it. Now, I'm not going to say that women entrepreneurs won't do that, but I have noticed that it could be less likely. I can't tell you if Melyssa Ford would have did it, but now Melyssa Ford finds herself like going towards 50, and then you're kind of in this situation by yourself, relying on old contacts, relying on relationships you had in the past, and now everybody in the world has a podcast. You're not a team player. You're single. You're not married. So after a while, how much more value do you bring to the table? How much more value do you bring in the private sector? And this is kind of why you see, a lot of entrepreneurs, but even the women ones, kind of get phased out. And what I kind of see for those that do get phased out, it's the Melyssa Ford effect. It's the, okay, I'm hot right now. And then times come where it requires you to adjust to the market. It requires you to have soft skills, know how to work with people more. It requires you to establish personal relationships with people more, and then you can't do it. Same thing with her and Jason Lee. Another issue. You have a great opportunity. There's no way that you can adjust to the opportunity. So you find yourself on the up and up. And a Joe Budden podcast opportunities do not come every day. So then what ends up happening to you? You just slowly fall off, slowly but surely, right? You don't innovate. You don't impress anybody. People just get tired of dealing with you until it's just over, and then you just have zero. And people don't see that it's coming. Like, I can guarantee you, Melyssa Ford looks at this like, oh, I still got what it takes. It's okay. But the market is clearly showing you that in what you're trying to do, the lane you're trying to go, it's not looking good for you. Have you sat back and thought about that by any chance? Like, Melyssa, like, are you listening to what people were saying about you? Like, one person even said, listen, Melyssa Ford cannot work well with people at all, okay? Melyssa Ford does not add any real value at all. Like, this has been the, like, repeating thing. And if I were to hear that as a person, the first thing I want to do is try to find out that's true. Like, what can I do to fix it? Because as much as I may feel like I'm important, like, no, I need these connections. Like, I need these people. Like, this is an opportunity for me. What can I learn from this particular podcast or, in general to help my career? And you know what? You're not going to see that. And I can guarantee you, Melyssa Ford's career in the next 3 years will be completely obsolete, out of the industry completely. And when you're out of the industry completely, because number one, as you get older in the industry, you need to have more experience. Okay? That means like somebody like Joe Budden, he's getting older in the industry, but he's getting stronger. He's getting better cash. He's reinvesting more money. He's just getting stronger in the game. So it's the compounding effect. It's constant innovation, constant improving, which makes him stronger over time. We are not saying about Melyssa Ford, okay? It's the exact opposite. So Joe Budden can do this until he's like 50. Like giving a reason for people to want to deal with him. Like Mark Lamont Hill. Like the guys who are doing well in their 40s or 50s, even women, there's a reason why you want to deal with them. But Melyssa Ford, what is the reason why somebody wants to deal with you? I just don't get it. And then you hear some people come out and say, oh, you know, I deserve better. Being single is okay. It's not that bad. But you, like, even if you're single, you still have to prove your value to other people. Where is your value to somebody else? Can you talk about that? Like, we need to know. Where is your value to somebody else? That is what we have not seen. Like, we just haven't seen it. Where's the value? No, nobody understands it. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with an episode of The Celebrity Junk Preacher. Before you do, turn the bell. We're out.